what what would you say to someone, maybe they already bought the book or, whatever that status is, but anybody who's considering, really kind of diving into feminine sovereignty as a tool and a resource and a guidance system and a support community for them? Like, what is there anything that you would say to somebody like that?
I do see this as a guidebook. I do see this as a manual that you take through different stages of life and you revisit and you interact with. And the missing piece that you're building and growing and expanding is the community to support people at different stages of their journey. Just want to affirm that feels so right to me as well, especially as I embarking on my own becoming and offering coaching services to the world, how important this community and having a community and support is. It's not an intellectual job and it's not an independent job. It is a collective job. It's one of your pillars. And it's how we get out of this, what did you say, wacky world we're in and recreate the
Mm,
new world we want to be a part of. It's going to be done with a foundation of feminine sovereignty. And I love the distinction by adding the feminine and how that is so different than just the traditional meaning of sovereignty. And we all have a part to play. So I'm excited about this birth and all the new people who are going to sign up for their part to play in living this
mm,
vision.
And I love this interactive structure of the book, and how it's just so in line with knowing how you've been teaching, and just to have this like back and forth, and it's not just like a static text that you're conveying. It's really the imitate, and whatever path you take, I'm going to be walking shoulder to shoulder with you, your hand in mine, on every step of this journey. And when I read that, it really moved me, because I really feel that sense from the book and from your presence. When I read that, and I just brought tears to me, because I feel like so much of uh, in transformation, what can be so scary is this own aspect of what going to happen, what am I going to face, and it's more about like this unknown fears, and just knowing that you're shouldering the strength, and walking and creating that camaraderie. It just extends also into your virtual group, where there's just like a community waiting, to embrace the things that come up on this journey.
I want to echo what both Geraldine and Cher said about I'll be right with you to hold your hand, because it really, especially in those pillars, it really did feel like, those are the places where if I were a little kid, I'd be trying to hide behind my mom's skirt or something. And, when it comes to bringing myself more fully out into the world, and the examples that you gave were just so beautiful about bringing what we're able to bring and what we enjoy bringing to the table, and then doing it in the capacity that we're able to do it, rather than pushing so hard that we end up in burnout about it.
It's easy to get into a mindset of like, okay, I'm going to transform, and it's like a one and done process. But it's like, okay, this is it. This is like, it's a process that's going to be like, this is the work of our lives, right?
One of the thoughts that occurred to me is sort of a follow-up on what Geraldine said about doing something once versus doing something repeatedly. And I do feel like this book would reward multiple readings, because I think I think anybody who read it could see themselves at different points in their life in it, as they read it at different times in their life. I guess, that being said, if there's a part that maybe doesn't resonate for them the first time through, keep reading, and maybe you'll find the part that you're like, ooh, that's me right now. And then maybe through another reading, the part that didn't resonate will be the part that's oh my gosh, this is totally me this time.
Mm.
um, I feel like there's in terms of the spiraling, it's almost like a spiral respiratory cycle where it's like you take it in and you embody it and then you live it out and then you need to breathe in again because you don't just breathe out once. But you know, all the things that we could see about ourselves in this, we can come back and see again from a different perspective as we live and continue to interact with ourselves and with other people.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for that.
I think that if I were to say like one thing, like now is the time to get involved with this book and Maggie and her community, because I feel like, you know, just to the point of like making a career out of transformation, it's just really easy to get in that trap. And I feel like this is the kind of answer to actually doing the work that's involved in transformation.
Mhm.